Kelly, where business becomes show business. Kelly Wilson is out sick this morning, so it's just me here in studio with the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group on behalf of Jessica Ravelli, the CEO and founder of the organization. And so we got her on the phone line to begin the morning discussion with us. So Jessica, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jamie. I'm sorry to hear Kelly's sick.
Yes, she is sick. Nonetheless, we are going to get through the program, and we're going to move on with the Working Women Wednesdays feature, thanks to you. And so we greatly appreciate your support of the program. So tell us a little bit about the show today and what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, we've got some great folks in studio today. I'm really excited for you to talk to Lori Sinelli. I don't know if she actually was able to bring in any of her popcorn.
Yeah, she got a little bag over there of that, yes.
Okay, good. It's absolutely delicious. I actually, she was at our casino party back in June, and I loved it so much that I actually used it for gifts after my conference. That's how delicious it is. But she's going to be one of our vendors at Think Pink, which is Thursday. So her, along with 59 other Working Women members, will be showcasing their wares, and in this case food, and Michelle Northrup with Intensity Academy, who you've had on the show, who is known as the Saucy Queen, will be there too, along with Susan Dodd, who you've had in, who does the gourmet olives. So we're going to have some really great gourmet food, just like what Lori's got going on with that delicious popcorn. So I'm really excited for you to get a chance to meet her and taste the popcorn.
Very cool. Yes, she's the owner of iPop Gourmet Popcorn. We'll be hearing from her in the second part of today's program. But first, we're going to be talking to Elise Auxier. Tell us a little about her.
Yeah, so Elise is a member of our organization, and she's a professional development coach, and she's actually going to be leading our 2017 goal-setting workshop that I think I mentioned last week. That's going to be at Sagicor Life Insurance on December 14th, and it's part of our Driven to Succeed series. So, this is a great time of year to be thinking ahead. I know a lot of times during the holidays, a lot of small business owners, I call it the holiday coma, and basically I feel like a lot of business owners put their business on hold if they're not retailers during the month of December. But it's really important to be thinking ahead and deciding, what are your goals for 2017. We just wrapped up our marketing workshop with Danielle Vona, who I know you've had on the show several times as well. And really it's a good idea right now to be thinking about, what are some systems and, in this case, marketing campaigns or goals like Elise is going to talk about that you can, strategize now so that you really, kind of get a running start in 2017.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like you're holding anything back, though, in December on your events calendar. And looks like you have a full month, less the last 2 weeks there. I see you left the last 2 weeks open.
Yeah, exactly. Our last event will be, I think it is actually that.
It's the 14th, yes. Yes, it is the event with Elise, yes.
Our last event. We're going to sneak in one more Girls' Night Out on the 13th. We're going to do the countdown, which we talked about when you had Angela on the show. So we're going to see if some members want to come out and do, something fun. So, and then that's pretty much it. I actually leave for vacation. I'm actually going to Gatlinburg for vacation, which is I'm really kind of praying for that area because it's sad what's going on.
The fire right there. Yeah, that's Tennessee, right?
Gatlinburg.
Yeah. The fires are raging in that
Yeah, we're going to
area.
go anyways. I think it's a great opportunity for us to support those local businesses that are going to be impacted. And I'm hoping, other people across the country were already planning to go there for the holidays will continue their vacations there because how much local, folks impacting the local economy, is important because that's what this show is all about. So we're going to go ahead and continue our vacation up there and try to support as many local businesses while they're up there for the holidays.
All right. Well, we wish you a safe trip, but we'll be hearing from you a few more times before that. So we appreciate you checking in here on this Working Women Wednesdays edition.
All right, Jamie, have a great show.
Thank you again, Jessica Ravelli, CEO and founder of the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group. To learn more about their organization, visit workingwomenoftampabay.com. So let's go ahead and bring in our first guest here for the segment. We have Elise Auxier, who is a development coach and owner of Gulf Coast Coaching. Learn more about this at gulfcoastcoaching.com. So Elise, welcome to the program today.
Thank you.
So come a little closer to the microphone
All right.
there. Yes. So first off, tell us just a little bit about your coaching practice. Are you a development coach, a life coach, business coach? Tell us a little bit about the practice.
Probably a little bit of all. I primarily coach professional women, whether they're in or out of the workforce currently.
Okay. Do you cross over into the personal side, the life coaching, and also the business development? Do you kind of draw a line between the two? Tell me a little bit about the kind of how you coach.
Sure. Normally I'm hired by someone who is working, but I find that about 75% of our time we spend talking about personal issues because, as we all know, the person that you are is the one who shows up in your personal life as well as your business life.
And you just coach women, am I correct?
I do. I coach a few men. I'm a pro bono coach at the University of Tampa in the graduate school.
Okay.
And I do coach some young men there.
I was going to ask about the differences when you coach a woman versus a man. You said the women like to talk about the personal issues. Do the men kind of stay away from the personal issues?
Not at all.
No, really? They open up to you about that too? Okay. I myself, I don't like to talk about personal issues too much, only with like a select few. So if I was with a coach, I would focus more like on business. That's just how I see things. But you're saying that's not the case, and the men will open up to you as well?
I think it depends on what we're talking about. If you're working at an office setting and you're having some difficulty, say, getting along with everybody in the office, or there's some strife or frustration, inevitably we have to talk about what's happening.
Right.
What are the assumptions that are being made? What does everybody mean when they say certain things? And without getting into overly personal matters, it helps for someone from the outside to come in and say, well, have you considered this? You know, what if this is what they mean? Having an outside opinion without being totally personally invested can often open up doors.
There are just some development programs and coaching programs and people that divide the two. They're either a life coach or they're a business coach, and they say, well, if you need a life coach, you need to go see a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or whatever, or somebody to talk to them about that. Business is something separate, but you combine the two. You believe they're part of the whole situation that a person is involved in then, correct?
I do, and it's interesting that you were saying, for example, a therapist. One of the big differences between coaching and therapy is more past oriented.
Okay.
We're going to delve into your birth family or your family of origin, what happened to you when you were a child and how is that affecting you now. Coaching takes more of the perspective of you are here, where do you want to be in the future? Do
you find yourself sometimes acting as a therapist, though, or do you kind of say, hey, those aren't the issues that I'm really skilled to deal with if you're talking to me about, abuse issues and things of the past? But do people open up to you about those issues, too, as well?
They do. And I am very careful about what I am and am not trained to do. And if I think that this is an issue that someone might benefit from some therapy, I certainly would bring that up.
Now, what is your background? How did your life lead you into coaching?
I have a degree from the University of Michigan. Go Blue.
Mm-hmm. They had a rough weekend this weekend.
They had a very rough weekend. Yeah, I can't. I'm bitterly disappointed.
I'm not a big college football person, but it was all over the news. It was kind of hard not to catch what happened with Ohio State this weekend. Yes. Double overtime loss on a field goal or something, was it?
Thank you. Yeah, let's keep talking about it.
Sorry, I don't mean to rub it in. I'm just recalling the event and everything. I didn't even watch it, nonetheless. So.
I have a degree in philosophy from Michigan. And from there, I went into sales. And I worked for Xerox, and then I sold high-tech surgical instrumentation. Actually, worked in the OR for 5 years with U.S. Surgical Corporation.
So you got a strong background in sales, but you're working in a corporate environment.
Yes.
And what point did you make the transition into entrepreneurship then and going on your own?
Well, I made a transition to stay-at-home motherhood.
Oh, so you had
before that.
You had, I wouldn't say a brief, but you had an intermission there, so to speak, in life to go and take care of your children.
I did.
How long did that last?
For 9 years.
9 years.
I stayed at home. And then I went back to work, and I was the national sales manager of Gray & Company, which is the world's largest sweet cherry processor. And after that, I bought a couple of sign-making businesses, and we did graphics, design, wayfinding, signage.
Okay.
And so I was an entrepreneur there for 11 years.
All right, 11 years. And then from there, you went on to the coaching business?
I did, because so much of my background in being a sales manager or as an entrepreneur and having employees, I did a lot of coaching before I actually became a coach.
How does your skills as a sales person carry over from a corporate environment to a coaching environment? Because you have to sell yourself to your clients too. Is it a difficult or a different type of sales pitch that you have to use when you're picking up a client for a coaching practice versus selling somebody a Xerox copier?
It is. You don't really sell coaching, you coach coaching.
Okay.
So having a conversation with somebody where they feel comfortable, they feel heard, and that I have something that I can offer to them in terms of helping them get off of the spot where they currently are. That's the appeal of coaching. A good salesperson is a good listener, and so is a good coach.
Now, who is the niche client then that you work with? You did say you specialize, coaching women, but is there a certain type of professional woman or a woman in a certain element of their career? Who is a good niche for your business?
As I say, I coach high-performing women, whether they are currently in or out of the sales force. And I am very careful to include women who are currently staying at home because in fact, you said you took an intermission, and I don't see it as taking an intermission. And in fact, I am very sensitive to that because when I left a very high-powered career and stayed at home, and I had the experience many times of going out, say, to a charity ball or a cocktail party with my husband, and inevitably some man would come over and say, "So what do you do?" And I would say, "Well, I'm a stay-at-home mother." And here's what would happen. He would pat me on the shoulder or on the arm and look deeply into my eyes and say, "That's the most important job in the world." And then he would look over my shoulder, and there was just something he had to do on the other side of the room.
That's just that disconnect, I think, that men and women have, I guess, because we don't understand what it's like, to be a mother and everything. And so I can definitely understand, where you're coming from.
Right,
with
because
regard
it was as if I was the child, not the caretaker of the child, as if I had nothing to say just because I stayed at home.
But if
I was still the same professional woman.
But when a professional woman would come up to you and ask you what you do, and you say you're a stay-at-home mother, how would they react in a professional situation?
That, too, could be fraught with difficulty because women look at each other, and if one is still working as a mother and one is staying at home, the first thing that may jump into their mind is she judging me? It's difficult. For women to continue working or to stay at home are huge choices about their future.
And so a stay-at-home mother is also then a client of yours then in your
Yes.
coaching business. And so for the women that are listening, there's another resource for you here on the program. Now, you're also going to be leading the workshop on December 14th, Driven to Succeed. It's going to be about 2017 goal setting. Tell us a little about what to expect from this event.
Well, Brian Tracy says that 3% of the people in the world have written goals, and the other 97% of us work for them.
Interesting. That's a good quote, yes.
So it's important to have written goals.
Okay. Hold that point there. I want to talk about that when we come back from the break. Setting goals for 2017 with Elise Auxier. She is the owner of Gulf Coast Coaching. Learn more about her at gulfcoastcoaching.com, or if you could use her services, pick up the phone and give her a call at 813-773-4853. Again, 813-773-4853. And you're listening to the Working Women Wednesdays feature of That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round. And number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com. If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Crash in Clearwater affecting eastbound Gulf to Bay at Keene Road. Couple lanes blocked in the eastbound direction. Also a couple lanes blocked in the northbound direction. Avoid this intersection. Also an intersection to avoid in Tampa, 56th Street and Hillsborough. Serious crash investigation ongoing there. Southbound 56th Street is being turned on the westbound Hillsborough. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterich. Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. There is a little boy or girl living in poverty right now. They don't have enough to eat, are sick, and can't go to school. And you can release them from that poverty when you become a sponsor with Compassion International. Find out how at compassion.com/radio.
Today, a mix of sun and clouds with just a slight rain chance, high 83. Tonight, some patchy fog, low 68. Tomorrow, a 20% chance of showers, high 80.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
Welcome back to That Business Show. Now, Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business, and you're listening to the Working Women Wednesdays edition of the program, so please help support the Working Women of Tampa Bay. Learn more at workingwomenoftampabay.com, and you can see there are many events that go on each and every day just about by clicking on the events calendar on the toolbar, including the upcoming event that Elise is going to be instructing on December 14th. That's going to be at the Sagicor Life Insurance Building located at 4010 West Boy Scout Boulevard Road in Tampa. And again, it's going to be on 2017 goal setting. I want to talk a little bit more about that segment here on this segment of the program. So, Elise, what can people expect again from this workshop?
Well, it's going to be a 90-minute lunch and learn. So we are going to go through all kinds of goal setting. everybody walks around with kind of a vague idea of, oh, I'd like to do that, or gee, wouldn't that be great if this happened? We're going to really drill down on what is it that you want.
So many people on January 1st, commit to all these New Year's resolutions and goals. But, I mean, how do you hold people to the fire, though? I mean, because by January 30th, they're all things of the past anyways. So, I mean, we're all gung-ho on January. I would say January 1st, probably January 2nd. But
yes.
Nonetheless, how do you keep people's feet to the fire?
That's an excellent question. If you've ever been a gym member, it's packed at the beginning of January.
Right.
And then as the month goes on, it wanes. One of the things that's important is up front, thinking about what are the obstacles that might come up when reality strikes and the baby's sick, the car won't start, and all your plans get derailed. What am I going to do? Am I just going to throw in the towel? Maybe I can reframe what I was going to do and still keep the momentum on my goal. If I was going to go to the gym for an hour and now I can't go, well, can I do 10 minutes of yoga? Mm-hmm. Can I take a walk around the block? And then that is still being successful. Monitoring our inner talk about, I did the best I could, I kept momentum on my goal, and I'm still committed.
So many of us look for things that will derail us from, like, the working out or committing to our business. And you're right, we all start gung-ho on January 2nd, but as soon as those life events get in the way, it's like, well, I'll wait again till next year and start over again. Mm-hmm. What about just taking baby steps, when you're starting something new? Instead of going and say, I'm going to go to the gym every single day, starting on, the beginning of the year, maybe go once a week. Don't rush it in, and maybe that's an easier way to kind of break into that type of a lifestyle. How would you advise?
I'm in total agreement there. 1% improvement over yesterday is a huge step forward, and doing something that is sustainable and realistic. For someone who is not exercising, for example, 10 minutes 3 times a week is great. And then you can build on that, and it gives a good inner feeling of, I am being successful. I'm actually doing what I want to do. And I try to reconnect people when the drudgery sets in, or it's tedious, or temptation to quit is everywhere. I try to get people to refocus on, if your goal is losing weight, what really is the goal? It's to feel awesome.
It's to feel better.
It's to feel better. It's to, break those skinny jeans out of the closet and put those back on. Reconnect to that awesome feeling that you want. And that will help motivate you through the trenches when you feel like giving up.
Now, again, this is going to be on removing your roadblocks. Isn't all of our greatest roadblocks just ourselves, our own inner critic? If we could just learn to communicate with ourselves and negotiate with ourselves, we could probably get over some of these roadblocks. It's not really the life events necessarily. It's our own inner critics. How would you advise?
So much of what we do is habit. In fact, studies show that 80% of what we do every day is habit. And that includes the way we think. And humans are the only mammals that actually have someone that watches inside our own brains. We have someone that can be our saboteur or can be our champion. And exactly how we manage our inner critic,
I feel like there's somebody else inside my head living with me, because I'm sitting there like talking to them all the time, like, I don't want to do it, I better not do it. It's like I'm debating it all the time and stuff. It drives me crazy. I wish I would just disconnect and just do sometimes. And so,
well, I think one of the important things to realize there is it's not enough to just hush that voice, to silence that voice. Although I tell people, if you think about the good expectations that you have as a house, and the critic comes to the door, and you open the door and you see the critic, slam the door in the critic's face and pull down the shades and make it stay outside and starve.
And again, this event going on December 14th, Driven to Succeed 2017 goal setting with Elise Auxier of Gulf Coast Coaching. Got to take a break, but we got a little bit more with her when we come back from the break. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Kelly Ham from Billmeyer Ham Consulting. Did you know that one of the biggest challenges that leaders face is getting their employees to be engaged, motivated, and producing amazing business results? At Billmeyer Ham Consulting, we'll help you transform your workforce culture from one that might be underperforming, maybe mediocre, to achieving amazing business results. You see, we realize that your workforce culture is equally as important as your business plan and your business strategy. The two must be aligned in order for you to reach your desired business and financial goals.
Carol,
Hey, Jim.
I just got this plan that could really help with our process here.
Okay, why don't you just have a seat and let's go over it.
Let us help you transform your workforce culture by leveraging your most important assets, your people. I want to know what's going on in your organization. Let us help you transform your workforce culture. Let's have a conversation.
I feel guilty that I can't always be there when Mom feels stuck at home. She was always there for us. But now she can't get out, and I'm not always available to take her places. Someone else needs to help her get around. Then I learned about Home Instead. Now Mom can do what she enjoys because her personal caregiver is there, and I can just be a daughter again.
Are you struggling to care for your loved one? We can help. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
Bit warmer than usual for this time of year. Low to mid 80s, mix of sun and clouds. Slight chance for a shower today. Upper 60s for the low. Tomorrow, upper 70s. Look for some rain, more clouds, and a cooler day on Friday in the mid 70s. Impact Radio 1250 wins, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly on 1250 wins, WHNZ. Missed the show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
And we're back to That Business Show now with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. And we're listening to the Working Women Wednesdays edition of the program. Currently talking to Elise Oxier with Gulf Coast Coaching, and learn more about this at gulfcoastcoaching.com. And Elise, I want to circle back around to your coaching business specifically and who you work with, because we were talking in that first segment about how you work with stay-at-home mothers and everything, and you believe that's a very important component, and that some people just kind of write off as not being an important part of a person's career. Elaborate on this for us again.
Well, women make decisions along the way that often men don't make, although things are changing a little bit. But when children come into the picture, many women will step out of the workforce for a while and then come back in. And it's very difficult at times to come back into the workforce and not have to start at the beginning and go to the back of the line.
Why is it
and work your
difficult
way
to
up.
come back into the workforce? Is it because technology and things have changed, or is it because the person has changed?
I think it's both of those, as well as the perception of the person doing the hiring. What have you done for all of these years that you've been at home? I encourage women to stay active in volunteer work. That's something that definitely can help the resume. I stepped away from my career, but I was a contributor here, and I did these skills. So keeping skill level up and having your own perception of I am successful and I can contribute is important when you go back looking for a job.
Now, you're also a member of the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group, hence why you're on the program today. Let's talk a little bit about how you got involved with the organization.
I went to an event that Jessica put on this fall, and she had a whole host of speakers, morning and afternoon, and I was blown away by how great it was, the caliber of the speakers. And the event was planned beautifully that I signed up the next morning.
Interesting. What has it done for your business since joining the Working Women of Tampa Bay?
Well, my target audience for my coaching business is professional women. And I don't know how many members that she has, but I have met so many wonderful women.
Now, do you ship this online as well?
We do.
All right, and the
actually
website is ipopgourmetpopcorn.com, correct?
That's correct.
And I see you offer a military discount.
Absolutely.
Tell
My
us a little
son
about
is
that.
in the military as well.
And I saw that you got to meet Charlie the plumber here in the
Yes.
7 o'clock hour, a true military person there. I shouldn't say a true military. It's improper to say that, but somebody very committed to the military.
Yes.
And he was in on the 7 o'clock hour and giving us a lot of testosterone. As I said at the 8 o'clock hour, kind of dial it back when Charlie leaves for the Working Women segment of the program. Now, you're going to be involved in the Think Pink event with the popcorn.
Correct.
Tell us a little about this.
Okay, so tomorrow at Ruth Eckerd Hall with the Working Women of Tampa Bay, we're going to be bringing a lot of our popcorn, whether it's in retail bags, tins, buckets. We're going to have a lot of Christmas gifts for people to buy early.
And what is it like working in a family business now? You've brought in your sister, you've got your brother-in-law. How is it like? And you all, I guess, are equal owners of the. Is it a partnership, or is one person the owner and they all work underneath of you? How does it work?
It's a partnership, and we all bring something to the game. So I'm very good at recipe creation, whereas my sister's very techie, and she helps out there. And my brother-in-law, of course, he comes up with new recipes as well, or markets for us.
Now, have you and your sister always worked well together?
No, not at all.
Because I know my. What's the age? First off, what's the age difference between you and your sister?
It's 4 years.
4 years. That's that troublesome zone, I think, with children. Because I was at the 6, and it's like that. I always say like 4 to 7 is where they fight. If they're closer together, I think they get along a little bit better. So, did you have a situation where you and your sister fought growing up?
We fought constantly.
Constantly.
Yeah, it's a good thing I don't have my parents here because they would support that.
No, I just say that 4 to 7 year age range, because I was right there, 6 years of age difference with my brother, and we fought constantly. He always wanted to. I was the older brother, and he was the younger brother, and he always wanted to tag along with me and my friends and watch me play video games. And I was always very independent, and I was like, oh, leave me alone, leave me alone. But have you since, as you've gotten older now and you're into business, any carryover from those days as competitive siblings?
Not really, because we just have gotten closer together, all of us. So it's, being that it's a family business, it's just wonderful because it has brought us closer together, and all that happened in the past is gone.
And you were the pastry chef. What does your sister bring to the table, and what does your brother-in-law bring to the table with the creation of iPop Gourmet Popcorn?
So my sister's very techie. She's very geeky. I hate to say that, but she does the website management, our e-commerce site, our social media, everything like that. So she's perfect at that because that's stuff I really don't have time to do.
Okay, so you're the creator, she's the tech person. Where does the brother-in-law come into the mix?
So he will help with recipe creation too. He developed a smoked cheddar cheese popcorn through a little trick that he found.
Smoked cheddar cheese popcorn.
Yeah.
You got some interesting. What's the most off-the-wall flavor that you have at iPop? You mentioned that buffalo chicken popcorn, or what was that? Buffalo what?
Buffalo blue
cheese. I'm sorry, buffalo blue cheese. What would you say is your most, biggest or elaborate creation that somebody would not associate with popcorn necessarily?
I would say maybe the ghost pepper pop.
Ghost pepper. Is that like a hot popcorn?
It's a spicy popcorn.
I never thought about popcorn related to peppers. That's interesting. So you eat a popcorn and it's going to burn your throat?
A little bit. It doesn't stay forever.
You got to sign a waiver for it?
No.
That's in wing shops. Some of the wing shops that have the peppers, they will make you sign a waiver because they are so hot. Creating popcorn with different flavors of peppers. That's an interesting idea. Yeah. Now, when you started the business, 2 years ago?
Yes.
And what has it grown to today? Is it still 3 people, or do you have a staff underneath you all?
It's still 3 people. We do get occasional temporary help to help with, the larger orders that we've had. We've been able to have corporate orders from Bank of America and Tech Data and some of the larger corporations. So that it takes time to pack a lot of popcorn.
Now, how do you market this product? That's a question I have for a lot of new business owners who have a product, because it's such a crowded environment out there to get attention and get in front of people. What tools are you having success with getting your popcorn out to the general public?
Definitely the Working Women of Tampa Bay has been instrumental in
How
helping.
How so?
They're just a friendly, warm group of welcoming people. So it's been a pleasure to be a part of that. And Jessica's always inviting me to events. So it's fantastic.
And you're going to be at the Think Pink event tomorrow, just another component of the development of the popcorn. To what degree is online and digital marketing helping or not helping your business?
It definitely helps because people will come into our store and say, we saw you on Instagram, or we saw you on Twitter, or we saw the popcorn wedding bar that you did for a lady at Marry Me Tampa Bay. We did her popcorn bar, so people saw that.
Now, you have a storefront there. It's on 11284 West Hillsborough Avenue. What about getting the popcorn inside other storefronts? Is that part of the marketing plan for the development of iPop popcorn?
Absolutely, and we have a couple people that we're currently working with.
Okay, what locations can people find iPop in around Tampa Bay?
So we're currently going to be in St. Petersburg, and we're working on a location in Clearwater as well.
Okay. All right. And again, you can also pick this up online at ipopgourmetpopcorn.com. Got to take a break, but we'll do another segment with Laurie when we come back from the break. Again, Laurie Sinelli, owner of iPop Gourmet Popcorn, along with her sister and brother-in-law. Learn more, ipopgourmetpopcorn.com. You're listening to the Working Woman Wednesdays edition of That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
From the Spectrum Traffic Center.
Crash investigation still has southbound 56th Street at Hillsborough Avenue blocked. Avoid this intersection. Also, we're seeing delays on southbound 275 from before Fowler Avenue to Sly. And over in Clearwater, a crash on eastbound Gulf to Bay at Keene Road still has a couple lanes blocked there. And northbound Keene blocked. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson Urich, Hillsborough. Traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving supports victims of drunk driving, drug driving, and underage drinking at no charge. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. That's MADD.org.
Today, a mix of sun and clouds with just a slight rain chance, high 83. Tonight, some patchy fog, low 68. Tomorrow, a 20% chance of showers, high 80.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
And we're back to the Working Women Wednesdays edition of the That Business Show, now with Jamie and Kelly. Kelly unable to be with us this morning. She is ill, and so it's just me in the studio with a couple of the members of the Working Women of Tampa Bay networking group, and learn more about them and their many events over at workingwomenoftampabay.com. And I am finishing up some of the popcorn there, so I'm a little tongue-tied for the moment. Again, talking to Laurie Sinelli, owner of iPop Gourmet Popcorn, and she was nice enough to bring in a few bags of their many different flavors over there. I think she said like 160 plus different flavors, right?
137.
137 different
but
flavors.
Always creating.
Always creating. And so what was that first brand or first flavor that you put together when you started this?
I think it was the caramel.
Caramel?
Yeah.
Caramel, so.
Because a lot of people, like I said, they use a mix, but ours is from scratch. So the flavor is totally different.
I took her back right there. She had to think about that. She didn't remember the first brand of popcorn. Or did you create so many at once? Was it you put so many flavors together that it wasn't just one popcorn, it was a number of them that came together?
Yeah, we popped a lot.
Oh, excuse me there. I'm going to choke on the popcorn here while I'm at it.
Don't do that.
Gary, make sure you can stand by the microphone there in case I end up going out there. I choke on popcorn sometimes, by the way, so I'm okay now. I think I'm all right there. About lost it there for a second. Now, you said you're a pastry chef also, and so you do weddings. So this is an excellent pairing idea for weddings. You can do the cake and the popcorn at the same time.
Correct. So if you come in and get your wedding cake, a lot of people say, I didn't know you did popcorn. So they see the popcorn, they see the colors, they see the flavors, and I explain to them we can do wedding popcorn bars, and we've done plenty of them.
Now, is popcorn at iPop, is it created any differently than traditional popcorn? You know, you have the big popcorn machine, you put it in there and, it pops out the popcorn. How is it created, at iPop versus traditional?
It's the same thing, but on a larger scale.
How big is your popcorn machine over there?
It's huge.
Do you have just one, or do you have multiple ones over there?
Just one popcorn maker, a kettle cooker, so that will cook the sugary popcorn. And then we also have a tumbler to tumble flavors into like the savory popcorns.
Okay, and so how do you get that round flavor again? I think I asked you that at the beginning of the segment and everything, but which one is it? Is it the kettle cooker, or is it, how do you, because when I'm cooking, I bought a popcorn machine myself, and it puts out just, the basic little, butterfly-shaped popcorn kernels out there. How do you get that roundness out of popped popcorn?
So it's actually a mushroom pop.
Okay, so that's what I'm calling it, round. Okay, so mushroom pop. She's corrected me there on the terminology. So mushroom pop. Okay.
You would actually have to purchase some, and you can on certain places, but of course we're buying it from certain purveyors that we buy in volume. But
Okay.
you definitely want to get the mushroom pop.
Okay, so it depends on the kernel that you buy.
It is
then
the kernel.
Okay, so it's not the technique; it's the kernel. Then what is? And tell me, I was thinking this also the other day. Where does popcorn come from? The kernels, the seeds. Where do you get those out of?
Well, it comes from corn.
Corn. So it's coming out of the corn. I thought it came from somewhere else for some reason.
No,
it comes right out of the
popcorn.
popcorn. See how I thought I knew a lot about everything. I don't know anything about the popcorn. So
And this is non-genetically modified.
So
it's
what's the
not-
difference then with the mushroom kernels? Then where do those come from?
It's this. It just comes from a different type of corn.
A different type of corn. What type of corn then?
I honestly don't know. Thank you for that hard question.
Yeah, I don't know anything. I'm not a farmer. I thought popcorn came from somewhere else. So it's actually coming from inside the kernels or inside the cobs of the corn cobs, if I can get that straight in my head, and then you pop it, and then you get the product. Let's talk about the health components of the popcorn. Now you're putting different flavors onto this. Do you have to, when you began to develop the product, did you have to go to the FDA or whatever it is out there that puts the labels on the popcorn? Did you have to go out there and do that and get the calorie content on all the popcorn? How does that work?
No, we actually figured that out ourselves. I mean, we figured out, of course, what needs to be on the label through the Florida Department of Agriculture because we're a licensed popcorn vendor and stuff. Popcorn itself, we use a coconut oil, pure coconut oil. So that's healthier for you than, say, microwave popcorn. They're finding in microwave popcorn there's a chemical inside the bag that's dangerous for you. So it's really not a healthy popcorn to eat.
Oh, no. I liked microwave popcorn, although I did buy a popcorn maker. But the microwave popcorn comes out much better. So what type of calories are in these? Do they vary from brand to brand, or are they similar to just basic popcorn?
Well, they do vary because some of them are savory, so your sugar content is lower. And then the sugar ones, of course, they have ingredients in them too, and I'm not sure of the calorie count on them.
Now, you launched the business 2 years ago. What were you doing before iPop Gourmet? Were you in entrepreneurism in another fashion? How did you get into the popcorn business again?
Well, I've had a piece of cake and desserts for almost 12 years. I was the head pastry chef at the Island Way Grill for almost 2 years. And I was the wedding cake specialist at the Grand Hyatt on Rocky Point.
Okay, so you had a business in pastry, and then you had the opportunity to come up to develop the popcorn. What's different about the popcorn business versus your pastry business now?
It's much easier to transport popcorn than it is a wedding cake.
That's a good point. And have you done many? We were talking about at the beginning of the segment with regard to combining weddings with popcorn. Have you done any? How many weddings have you done that with, or is that just a new marketing avenue that you're looking to explore here now, combining the wedding cakes and the popcorn all in the one-day event?
We've done a lot of events because it just tapers off into I see you do favors. And it's so much easier than people going online and trying to find something. At a wedding, people love to eat. So it's just an extra little niche there.
And that's the day nobody really cares about what they're eating too, I guess,
Not
right?
really.
So you can make them a nice, delicious cake, and you can also make them the popcorn and then get business on the backside as well. So what are your hours of operation? You're, again, located on Hillsborough Avenue. What are your hours of operation over there?
We're open 10:30 to 6, Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay. And what is the outlook for the business? You've been in operation 2 years. Where do you see the business going? Are you looking to expand this in storefronts across the region and ultimately across the state? What do you see for the company?
We've been asked to be in certain retailers, but I feel like you're going to lose yourself a little bit in that. I like the fact that it's a mom and pop shop. You come in, we're really super friendly. We love what we do. We give you good quality popcorn. We don't want to be one of those people who in a store that popcorn's 6 months old and you're eating it.
Right. All right. Well, a good discussion. Lori Sinelli, who's also going to be featuring her popcorn tomorrow at the Think Pink event. You can learn more about that over at workingwomenoftampabay.com on the events calendar. So we thank Lori so much for being in studio this morning. So good discussion. Lori, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Again, she is the owner of iPop Gourmet Popcorn. Learn more about that at ipopgourmetpopcorn.com, and also more about the Working Women of Tampa Bay over at workingwomenoftampabay.com. Also, thank you to our guest there in the second segment of the program, Elise Auxier, who's going to be leading the workshop on December 14th, Driven to Succeed, a goal-setting workshop from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Sagicor Life Insurance Building located at 4010 West Boy Scout Boulevard Road in Tampa. And register for that again at the events calendar on workingwomenoftampabay.com. Learn more about this program at tampabayradio.com. And if you'd like to get onto the program, visit tbsinterview.com. And you can connect with the program, facebook.com/That Business Show. And you can find us on Twitter under Jamie_Meloni. And also please subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/Jamie Meloni. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.